I distinctly remember during my childhood, my mom once told me that if something was truly important to me, I would just find the time to do it. But I feel like ever since I became a full-time content creator about a year ago, I kind of stopped exercising consistently, and it's really been bothering me. So I kind of reached out to a couple people that are in my similar circumstance, and I think I finally found a solution that's gonna help me log 10,000 steps per day, all while still getting my work done. So this right here is the Urivo Cyberpad, and it might actually be the most important piece of equipment I use on a daily basis. Starting out with the price, this at-home walking pad costs $449 US and took under a week to ship to my house. Also, just for reference, this treadmill weighs about 70 pounds, not including packaging, so you may want to ask a friend for help when unboxing this thing. And then as far as everything that comes in the box, obviously you get the treadmill itself, a 6-foot-long power cable, a wireless remote to control everything, an Allen wrench, and some lubricating oil. So the main reason that I chose the Cyberpad versus a traditional treadmill or even another home walking pad is because it has a really unique form factor. It's small and compact. It's not as much of a commitment as a massive treadmill that would literally take up this entire room. But then again, it's not as small and petite as a walking pad where I'm stepping and worrying about falling off the side or the back because I have a longer stride. This is about 30% larger surface area to walk on versus a traditional walking pad, which is nice if you're tall, if you have longer strides, or if you want to jog or even run. So one of the biggest challenges that I faced personally when I was trying to find the right home treadmill or walking pad was just finding something that would be durable enough to support a human being of my size. So I am over 6 feet tall, meaning I have a little bit of a longer stride, especially when I'm jogging. And then not only that, I weigh over 190 pounds. And so I'm a little bit larger than the average adult, and walking pads for me, just from my experience, usually are not durable enough to support someone of my size, because whether it's the motor not being powerful enough to move the belt underneath my feet, it feels like it overheats after just a little while of use, or it's just kind of like rickety, it rocks back and forth, it just doesn't feel very stable underneath me. That's just something that I've personally dealt with, and it's really kind of frustrating. Now, one of the big reasons that I wanted to try out the Cyberpad is I was reading on the website how this whole entire welded frame is actually made from a high strength alloy material. And earlier you guys saw that I weighed this thing. It's got a heft to it. It's over 70 pounds. So it feels very stable and solid while I'm moving on top of it. Even when I was jogging or running, it feels the same. Now, when I knock on this, you can just hear this thing is rock solid, and I'm really actually happy about the build quality. So if you happen to be a larger human being like myself, just wanted to make it clear, like, this thing's pretty solid and it'll be able to support your weight. But where the Cyberpad really sets itself apart is its industry first front and rear double lifting design. And when employed, it can incline up to 14%, which targets even more muscle groups and burns more calories than running or walking on a flat surface. And while exercising, users can simply look down and they will see a massive screen giving them real-time data and feedback about their current exercise stats, which include your speed, calories burned, incline, time, and distance traveled. Also, I wanted to point out how easy the Cyberpad is to roll away and store when you aren't using it. It has a handle on the end and a set of wheels on the other, so moving it around room to room or simply out of the way is really simple. Being able to vertically push it up against a wall is an A+ design, because if you have a small apartment or room that it's in, it really doesn't take up too much space. And if you're like me, you're probably wondering what type of force it takes to actually pull this over accidentally. So what I did is I rigged up a luggage scale to it. This way we can find out exactly how much force is necessary to pull the treadmill over. As you can see, it was about 12 pounds of force to pull it over. So if that is a concern to you, the other thing you can do is actually just turn it around and face it towards the wall. This way there is virtually no risk of this falling over at all. Now, one of my favorite things to do is push my ottoman out of the way and set my Cyberpad up in front of my living room TV. This way I can get my steps in while I'm watching my favorite shows or even playing video games. And for all you MLB The Show nerds out there, this was actually my very first swing, a perfect home
home run over the left field fence with Elly De La Cruz.
Now, the largest drawback when it comes to using a home treadmill or walking pad is always in the performance department, because with that smaller form factor, you're also getting a significantly smaller motor, and that really matters, especially if you're over 6 feet tall and over 195 pounds like I am.
Thankfully though, the CyberPad is able to offer a very impressive 2.5 horsepower brushless motor, which for direct comparison is powerful enough to move around a small boat or even an electric golf cart.
Now, the technology behind how the CyberPad is able to produce this much power in such a small, compact form factor is actually thanks to what's called a brushless motor,
which is commonly used within power tools for its higher efficiency, longer lifespan, and quieter operation. It's also significantly smaller than the alternative. On top of that, it also uses 15% less energy than other walking pads, so that ends up translating to a couple extra bucks off my electricity bill too. But what really had me the most impressed is the 8-point shock absorption inside the CyberPad, which lowers the impact on your knees and ankles by 50% while running. And Urivo says this was actually inspired by automobile shock technology. This way users will get the most advanced impact dampening possible. I also really like the texture and feel of the walking belt because it has a really nice grip to it, and it makes it feel a little closer to walking outside than other treadmills do. Now, you guys know I love my tech gadgets, so of course, when it comes to picking out a treadmill for the studio, it was going to have to be high tech.
Now, this feature is one of my favorites, and it's called the Gravity Sensing Automatic Stop. So basically what it does, if the user steps off the treadmill and forgets to turn it off or stop the walking belt like I just did, it actually sends a signal down to the circuit board, and it's gonna let it know that it needs to actually stop the walking pad. This way, if you have like little kids or maybe pets running around the house, nobody's gonna get injured on a runaway treadmill. And as you can see right here, it'll just completely pause your progress, and when you want, you can actually walk back to it. If you trigger the play button on the remote, you can pick up your workout right where you left off with all the same data on the screen.
I also like the built-in ambient lighting, which features 256 RGB settings so that you can match whatever aesthetic or mood you're feeling at that time. And when you connect the CyberPad to the Urivo app, it unlocks a ton of useful smart features like outdoor simulations or various running modes, and on top of that, you can also easily track progress and set goals for your workout. But what really gets me excited is the social features like data ranking, and this is because with them, I can actually challenge other CyberPad users and work my way all the way to the top of the leaderboard.
So the question is, who is the CyberPad actually designed for? Now, I think if you're the type of person that has a desire to get into better shape, and it's not really the workout that gets you, it's just actually physically getting yourself from your house to the gym after work, this would be perfect, because no matter where you're at in your home, you're just steps away from a good workout and getting yourself closer to those goals that you want to achieve. And you can even do it while you're watching TV, which everybody's gonna wind down at the end of the night. So that's when I like to walk a lot myself. This would be perfect for you.
And if you're fortunate enough to work from home like I do, it would be even more convenient to use this, since you can literally roll it underneath your desk and you'll be walking 10,000 steps before lunchtime without even realizing it.
And as always, guys, I will leave the link for the CyberPad in the description down below. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. And until I see you on next week's video, go check out one of these because YouTube thinks you're gonna like them.